Let's stay on the economy and democratic institutions. What do you think PDP will be remembered for when we talk about democratic institutions, right from 1999 to 2015 when they handed over? What are some of the points that you think that PDP as a party will be remembered for?
I think there's a lot. It depends on what sector you are looking at. If you want to look at, for instance, war against corruption, because APC will always want to say, oh, PDP were corrupt, PDP were a band of thieves. But let me say, without fear of contradiction, that in Nigeria, corruption did not start with PDP. There had been corruption in PDP, just like there is corruption in other places. But no government ever in Nigeria's political history had taken the bull by the horns by coming out to develop strong policies that were aimed at fighting corruption, both within the official and the private sectors like PDP. When we realized that things cannot continue to be business as usual, what did we do? We came up with the FCC. It was PDP who established EFCC. We gave them education. We gave them capacity. It was PDP who established ICPC. We gave them training and enhanced their capacity. It was PDP that amended the Code of Conduct law to enhance the powers of the Code of Conduct Tribunal. And that is why today the Code of Conduct Tribunal is performing their functions better than that tribunal had done ever in Nigeria's history. It was the PDP that passed the Freedom of Information Act in such a way and manner that the citizens' right to question the elected representative of social and public institutions was entrenched. It was PDP government that promulgated the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, which was able now to fast-track prosecution of criminal offenses in Nigeria. It was PDP government that promulgated the Due Process Act, which had made it possible for a lot of red tapeism to be removed in the way government programs were done, and ensure that indeed there was openness and transparency in the way government did their business. We did this thing. And so because of this, therefore, the respect that Nigeria has in the eyes of international community had quadrupled. And that is why today people can now come out to say, oh yes, Nigeria is a country that believes in fighting corruption. But we didn't only do this thing. We led by example. What did we do? We said charity begins at home. And so because charity begins at home, we started investigating ourselves. PDP members who held positions as governors, as ministers, were the ones that were being investigated. And whenever there was any allegation of unwholesomeness or improper practices, these were the people that were being investigated. Because if at that time we were investigating the opposition leader, they were witch hunting them, like APC-led federal government is doing today. But all the people, check through, you will see most of the people that were removed from office as a result of one corrupt act or another, or that were prosecuted as a result of one unwholesome act or another, were PDP members, which is not the case here. When you look at what we've done to build and strengthen democratic institutions, there was respect for rule of law. No judge was harassed. No judicial officer was arrested and intimidated. We were able to do it, recognizing that there were three arms of government. And never at a time in the 16 years that PDP was in government did the executive arm of government made an incursion into the territories that belong to the legislature or to the judiciary. There was that respect. And what do we have today? So it's important for Nigerians not to forget or not to allow themselves to be hoodwinked into taking in a very gullible manner cheap propaganda that the APC-led federal government and leaders have been saying. We are the ones who have entrenched democratic institutions in this country, and that is why today we are talking and celebrating 20 years of uninterrupted civil democracy and civil